Good afternoon, everyone. This is Evan.
This is Melody.
As the saying goes, who knows that of our meal in the dish, every grain comes after hard toil. I think all of you are no stranger to this quote, which is often spoken by our parents and teachers in order to teach the kids to cherish their food. However, have you ever kept it in mind and put it into practice? Do you always finish your meal without leaving any food waste? Now, go take a look at your lunchbox. If you do, that means you're not only a mommy's good boy, but also have a clear idea about the serious situation of hunger and food waste around the world and in Taiwan.
Unfortunately, most of the people don't. According to the research made by Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations in 2020, 720 to 811 million people around the world were suffering from starvation. That number accounts for about 0.01% of the total global population. That means 1 in 10,000 people wasn't able to get sufficient amounts of food to feed their daily needs. What's worse, World Vision's latest report shows that nearly 2.4 million children die each year due to malnutrition or starvation. You may wonder, is it because of the shortage of global food production that causes so many people to suffer from starvation? Surprisingly, the answer is no. A senior officer who worked in the Department of Economic and Social Affairs of the UN said in an interview in 2021 that the global agricultural production has already exceeded the population growth since the 1960s, which means the amount of food production in the globe can in fact satisfy everyone's basic needs around the world. Then here comes the question, why are there still millions of people suffering from starvation now?
The main cause is simple: food waste. According to the report made by the Worldwide Fund for Nature and the famous British supermarket Tesco in 2021, 2.5 billion tons of food were thrown away even without being eaten, which equals to the weight of 70.4 million trailers. From here, we can tell that over 1/3 of the food was discarded right after it had been produced, which caused some negative environmental, social, and economic impacts. Estimates made by the United Nations Environment Program in 2021 also suggest that 8 to 10% of the global greenhouse gas emissions are associated with the food that is not consumed. China and the US are directly responsible for this serious impact, for they are the countries that waste the most food in the world. In addition to China, however, it's pretty sad to see that Taiwan is also notorious for creating large amounts of food waste, even greater than those generated by Japan and Korea. According to the research done by the Environmental Protection Administration in 2020, Taiwan created an amount of 3.6 million tons of food waste, which equals to the weight of 93,500 trailers. Sadly, there are still over 1.8 million people in Taiwan struggling with starvation, which accounts for 0.08% of our total population, 8 times more than the global average.
If we want to get serious about tackling climate change, nature and biodiversity loss, and pollution and waste, businesses, governments, and citizens around the world have to do their part to reduce food waste. Reducing food waste would cut greenhouse gas emissions, slow the destruction of nature through land conversion and pollution, enhance the availability of food, and thus reduce hunger and save money at a time of global recession,
said Inger Anderson, the executive director of UNEP in 2021. This not only shows everyone's responsibility to make the world a better place, but also the core value of the 12th Sustainable Development Goal of the UN, responsible consumption and production.
The so much food waste can result from people's not having a good meal plan and the confusion between expiration date and best before date. As a member of this World Village, we, a group of 11th grade students from Datong Senior High School, are aware of this crisis and decide to make efforts and draw more people's attention to this issue. There are totally 6 parts in our hashtag 0212 project, including this brief podcast introducing the status quo, an opening short film about our main topic, the second Sustainable Development Goal of the UN Zero Hunger, street interviews and in-person visits to the stores selling expiring food, and the action plans we made.
We hope that this video can raise public attention on this topic and help you learn more about our project. Let's try our best to reduce food waste from ourselves and make Formosa foremost. That's the end of today's episode, and make sure you stay tuned for the other interesting and informative episodes by checking out our website. See ya!